Hi, everybody. I wanted to share this with you immediately. I could not rest. There was something that was going through my mind last night, and I didn't really realize it. And this is an example of how the subconscious can be telling you things, but you don't really understand what they're telling you. Last night, we decided as a family to sit down and watch the new Elvis movie by Baz Luhrmann. I had already seen it. I was off and on. I was in a nail salon when I was watching it, and it was exceptional. So happy, by the way, that Austin Butler won the Golden Globe. I hope he wins the Oscar because honestly, that performance was off the frickin' hook. Really, really well-deserved awards for that young man. But my sister hadn't seen it, and so we thought, okay, let's jump on and watch it as a family. So we're watching the movie, and it's a great movie, exceptional performances all around, and it just nails Elvis, and it really breaks your heart because of all the pain and suffering that the entire family has really experienced generationally, from his mother dying at the age of, I think, 46 she was when she had her heart attack, to him dying at 42. Had no idea he was so young when he died. Remember, he died in 77. I was born in 78. So I was really born in a post-Elvis world. And so I'd always loved his music and thought he was handsome, but it was kind of like an afterthought. It really wasn't contemporary to me. So to see this movie, it's heart-wrenching, but also kind of a beautiful love note too. The person that was the legend, right? And it really brings his humanity forefront. And I thought that was so beautiful. So great movie, heartbreaking, but also a love letter too. His humanity and the sweethearted person that he was, and the mistakes that he made. Turn off the movie, finish off the movie probably around 11:30 at night, and I go online because I'm always online. I work online, and I see the announcement that Lisa Marie Presley has passed away. And that's why I'm making this video. It thudded me in my chest because it was too serendipitous. We just watched the movie, and then Lisa Marie passed away. But that's not all, guys. I had done a daily tarot card reading, which I do every day, Monday through Friday on this channel. I channeled her death, and I didn't realize it because I had no context as to who these people were, when their birth dates were, what was going on in their life. I didn't know the stories. I didn't know that she had suffered a loss of a child just 2 years ago. And in a horrible, excruciating way, her young son committed suicide. And yeah, by young, I mean in his 20s. That's young to me. And I didn't realize, I didn't know all of these things. So when I'm channeling the energy, I really channel the zeitgeist. I channel general energy. What's going on the next 24 hours? That's what I name my videos. And I'm channeling it, and you can see, and I really want you to watch the video. You can see something come over me where I don't feel good. I don't feel right. I said, this is weird and really dark at one point. An actual fatality. Or a complete and total end. Whoa, that just kind of scared me. I don't know where it's coming from, except that I do, because that's what I'm doing. I'm channeling the zeitgeist. I'm channeling the general energy of what's happening in the world. Now, this wouldn't happen with just any family, because not just every family is part of the zeitgeist, but definitely Elvis's family is. And what was overwhelming is the timing of it all. The timing. I was doing that reading at between 4 and 5 Central Time, which in California, where Lisa Marie passed away, would have been around between 1 and 2. if you look, right, am I getting the math right? No, because Central Time is only 2 hours away. This is how flustered I am. So it would have been between 2 and 3. I'm going to post these different images. TMZ reported that she was in critical condition at 3 p.m. Pacific Time. Meanwhile, I'm wrapping up my reading at the same time. And it predicts this death. And when I'm reading it, I have no context about what I'm saying. What is going on? I don't know. I'm online doing a video. I'm not reading what's happening online. But I even say at one point, news comes in online, heartbreak. Then we have the Page of Swords. A message comes in, and it's done. What is that? What's done? Let's see. So right now, something you thought was going to happen didn't happen. But maybe that's not what it is. What's done? This Page of Cups, this new offer, this new possibility that you thought was going to happen and that you worked so hard on is shat all over. That's the heartbreak. There's the central energy. The central energy was the Page of Cups, which is a child. It's a child. And then the next card was the Three of Swords, losing a child, heartbreak over a child. All this context starts to come in as I'm learning more about the story. Even as a tarot card reader, even as a channeler, I wouldn't be making a video about this unless it was so like synchronicitous, so in time. And the fact that clearly God wanted me to pay attention to this because for some reason I got to watch the Elvis movie last night. I've already seen it. For some reason I got to watch that movie, and then boom, I check my internet to check my videos and everything, and bam, that's the news. She's dead. She's passed away. And the time of death would have been around 5:30 p.m. on Pacific time, which would have over here been around 7:30. So legitimately like 2 hours after I finished that reading, she's gone. It puts everything into a whole new context, especially the end of the reading is don't give up. Struggle, keep fighting. The Seven of Wands. Then there's the Queen of Pentacles. Then there's, I forget the other card, and then there's the Queen of Pentacles, the Ten of Pentacles, which is some could always represent some house, property, somebody who inherited, somebody who was an inheritor of, and what was the last card? Who was the last card? The King of Pentacles. Watch the video. It was the King of Pentacles. There is success, happiness. I didn't know that Elvis was a Capricorn. Elvis's birthday was January 8th, which is my best friend's birthday. I had no idea that this would be the person who inherited this great estate from this King of Pentacles. And I mean, he legitimately the king. This is what he's called. But I don't have the context when I'm doing the reading because I don't know their birthdays. And I don't know. I mean, I know Elvis is called the king, but I don't know he's a Capricorn. I have all these things going on the table and didn't have the context. I didn't know that Lisa Marie was sick. Wouldn't even think of her. There's so many celebrities and so much going on in the world. So why does it matter? And everybody who, especially skeptics of tarot, could be like, oh, come on, hindsight, yeah, you could say this. The timing is right in sync of when she was rushed to the hospital and dying. And that's when the message is coming out. And I have this overwhelming sense of dread, which you can see come over me in the video. What's the devil here for? This is dark. Yesterday's reading wasn't anything like this. This is kind of scaring me. But I just got to channel the messages. The devil here is about drugs, alcohol, substance abuse, addiction. So let me tell you this right now. Literally speaking, if I was going to give the worst news possible, this is the announcement of somebody, or maybe something that happened in your past too. Announcement of somebody has passed away and died because of a drug overdose. Heartbreak. Heartbreak. And it just knocks me on my ass. And really makes me, I said, this is scary. You can see, watch the video. This is scary. There are times in my life when these things happen to me. And, sometimes I can't understand them until hindsight. And if hindsight is what I need to understand it, is what I need. But I definitely needed to share this experience with you. I'm not trying to take credit for anything. I just wanted to put it all into context for why this was bothering me so much, why it was bugging me, why it was just still something there. I told one of my best friends the other day, because she said something has been on her mind and it's been bothering her for a while. And I said to her, sometimes something is still on your mind because it's not finished yet. And so I have to finish this. Whatever little small part I played, I have to finish this by sharing it and telling you. Now, what I would say is at the ending, because I always try to look for positives, is that she is going to be very happy and reunited with her father because he was the last one. It went from really horrible death by, I said, abuse of drugs or maybe even suicide, which was her son. And the heartbreak from that could have really been essentially what she could not get over. I don't know if she was using drugs or drinking heavily. According to the movie, this helped to exacerbate his mother's medical condition. His mother, Elvis's mother, died, like I said, when she was very young. I remember watching the movie. I'm like, damn, guys. She was only 46 years old. She's only 2 years older than I am now when she passed away. Elvis was like my son's age. He was 23 when it happened. And I'm like, this is just too funky. It's too funky that all these things are firing off in my head. And then when I find out that Elvis passed away at 42, I was like, that's way too young. Like, I didn't realize, because I was young and like was hearing about Elvis in hindsight. I always thought of him as old because it was not my generation, and I always thought he was so old. I'm 2 years older right now than he was when he passed away. He wasn't old at all. And now we have this beautiful young woman, his daughter, 54 years old, dies of a cardiac arrest. They said that's what ended it. I don't know if it was exacerbated, and I'm not trying to start rumors, and I'm not trying to say I know something that the doctors don't. But there definitely seemed to be a pattern in this family about drug and alcohol abuse as well as heart failure. So I don't know if there's something going on there with a heart condition that they didn't know that they had genetically. I don't know. I didn't read the cards for that. What I do know is the central energy kept coming through, which was this page of cups. And I was like, oh my God, I got to look up her son's birthday now. Because I'm like, was he a page of cups? October 21st, he was born. Her son that committed suicide, Benjamin. So that would have made him a Libra Scorpio cusp. And I'm like, okay. Because if he was a Scorpio, I would flip the fuck out. But he would have technically been Libra. Because that year's Scorpio season started on October 22nd. Always check your natal chart if you're born on the cusp, because sometimes you'll think you're one sign and you're actually not, because the sun wasn't in that zodiac sign yet, So I was like, I would have flipped out. But ultimately, it doesn't matter anyway, because Page of Cups doesn't have to be a water sign. To me, it always represents a child. There was also Page of Swords. Page of Swords would have been what he was, which was a young air sign. That showed up in the reading too, but the central energy was the Page of Cups and then the Three of Swords, heartbreak over a child. This was central to what caused her demise. And what was coming through to say, everything is going to be okay on the other side. I have no connection to these people whatsoever. And I wasn't even focusing the reading on anything celebrity but it was the timing, the synchronicity. I went on late too. I usually don't go on at 4 p.m. I usually go on 2 p.m., 3 p.m. But it was just later that day for the daily. And holy crap, I like legitimately, while it was happening, I'm channeling this energy. And I know once again, Skeptic's going to be like, well, of course she knew, it was in the news. I didn't know. I had been working all day. I do work online, but I don't get these buzz feeds, TMZ. I didn't know. According to TMZ, she went into the hospital around 11, maybe 12 Pacific time. So that over here where I am, Central time would have been like 2. And then critical condition was announced around 4. This is right during the reading, while it's happening. And I get these cards that are perfectly in a line, and then this overwhelming sense of dread. Watch it. Watch the reading. And then maybe come back and try to understand this a little bit better, because this is the difficult challenge of people like me, people who channel energy. It's not always clear where it's coming from or who it's about, but it's so overwhelmingly there that sometimes you don't know what to do with it. If this was a personal reading and somebody in my comments to that reading she said it right below, there's a comment right below, I'll pin it to the top of the comment section on that video. She said it. She said, this is somebody's personal reading. Yes, you are right. It was. And I was channeling the energy live time. I leave you with this. I love you like crazy. I will definitely see you on for today's daily. Today is a very good day. And rest in peace, Lisa Marie, and God bless your family as they go through all this terrible stuff. The hurt and sorrow and pain, according to my reading, the karma has now closed and come to an end. And there's happiness again. I love you, and I'll see you in the videos.